I'm saying is if somebody else goes from regular season and in ascends, because if you are evaluating the postseason in such high regard that Joel Embiid can go from a top five to out of the conversation of being top five, or at least questionable to being top five, I'm then asking you, then what happens in when it's reversed? When somebody who's ascending from regular season to postseason. Then I'm asking you if you cannot acknowledge, because I don't, as much as we want to go back and forth on what AD was as a defender in the postseason, it definitely wasn't as inconsistent or up and down from what Embiid was doing. What the fuck are we talking about?
But you're comparing Anthony Davis, who played a great season, but primarily was known for having a great season over an 8-game sample size where he averaged 35 and 15, and then he went to the playoff, had 2 great rounds defensively, was very inconsistent offensively. So even if you want to say that, I'm still not putting Anthony Davis in the same conversation that we were originally having, which was about Embiid and about KD. So he had a great playoff run, but I'm still not ranking him higher than either one of those players. But that's just because the sample size isn't big enough. But you already know that.
But we're talking about just 1 year. What the fuck are we talking
But
about?
this year, Anthony Davis wasn't better than either one of those players.
Oh, you're missing the point. Fuck. Jesus Christ, bro.
You got to explain it better, bro, because you're comparing regular season playoff elevation, and I'm
What are
just
you
telling you that's what
even
it is.
saying? What are you even trying to say? What's your
The
point?
point we're making is that niggas hold you in a different standard. So
What
when I
standard is
ask,
that? What standard is that that
I'm
people
about to
hold
say
me
that.
in?
When I ask people, why do they have you in their top five? In contrast to somebody else. If somebody brings off playoff success, but then if the other nigga had more postseason success than you, then that doesn't make any sense. That's inconsistent. If they then say, oh, well, when he went up against quality defense, he dropped, well, that doesn't make any sense either because that's also applicable to you. If a nigga says, oh, he's not available during the regular season, well, that doesn't make any sense either because that's also applicable to you as well. The problem is when I had these conversations with people, they will outline reasons why one player isn't over another, but all of the things in which they criticize one player for, it's all applicable for you as well. If a nigga want to tell me that the reason why you top five is because of scoring impact, I have no problem with that because that makes sense to me. All the things that come along with the value of scoring, that makes sense to me. But
Or you
that's
just
not
think
what niggas
you
say
think
though.
I'm just a scorer?
I'm not saying that you're just a scorer. I'm saying is if they value scoring in a high regard, I can understand how it supersedes the missed games. I can understand how it supersedes not being as good defensively as Embiid or Giannis. I can understand why it supersedes everything else that you may be lacking in contrast to someone else, like the playmaking from Luka. That's fine. But if it's because of the high value that they have or the high evaluation they have on scoring, but unfortunately, niggas never say that. They bring up things that are applicable against you as well.
I just think how y'all even look at the game is whack as fuck. Like playoff success, like you factor in team success when when you talking about players. I just think how y'all consume the game is trash. Like, are you good or not?
I agree. I agree.
I mean, some things could be that simple. Are you just good or not? I mean, a lot of people have seen it for a long time, brother, and it's
But
okay. These lists don't really mean nothing anyway. So why you getting so upset about them?
I'm getting upset because niggas are inconsistent of one way or another.
You are too, brother.
I'm inconsistent how?
You hold people to different standards. Everybody got
Such
double
as who?
standards
Such as
for
who?
who they like. It's
Such
all
as,
right, bro.
but such as who though?
I ain't gonna go into it though.
Such as who?
There's no need for me to go into it. But everybody got different standards for different players, and everybody got their own list. Everybody feel their way personally about their favorite players. It is what it is. It just seems like you get mad or upset when people talk about me, my brother.
Such as who?
I'm just saying when they talk about me, you seem like you get a little bit upset. I just
I
want
get
to know
upset
why.
because of the inconsistencies. If we don't want to talk about postseason success and just talk about what somebody did,
It's just
that's
too
fine.
many. It's just too much criteria to keep up with at the end of the day. I think it's all fun. We all love the game. We all love debating and
Facts,
comparison and
facts.
all of that shit. But like, y'all niggas be taking it too far sometimes, brother. It ain't even really that serious.
Nah, I think that it's interesting that again when people speak about other players, it's just
Like who? Like who? What are you saying? What are you like? What
for
are you trying to
example, with
say?
Swipe, let's use Swiper for example, right? He just told me that Anthony Davis's defense's postseason run, put a caveat next to it because he went up against questionable offensive teams. But then
What does that
he
even
was
mean?
saying,
What? So AD's not a good defense. So you questioning AD being a good player?
He's a great defensive player. The question was he was comparing basically regular season elevation to playoff elevation. So AD versus the Warriors, great defensive series. AD versus the Memphis Grizzlies, great defensive series. But again, once AD played against a complicated system with an elite offensive player and elite offensive around it, his defense dropped because of the role that he was forced to play in that situation. So that was the original context of that.
no, let me because it's recorded. He said that the two teams he faced in the beginning were bad offensive teams. They were crappy mid offensive teams. And so then I said, okay, so him having the responsibility of going up against the Warriors, where he was not only asked to be the rim protector and paint presence, but also was being pulled outside of the lane because it kept forcing switches and using Curry's gravity to pull 80 out the lane. Him being able to still do all those things, that should be put into context. However, I know for a fact he's the same person who's going to use numbers against the Miami Heat of all team to try to boast up who Jokic is as a defender. He's the
I
same
think
nigga.
it's I think it's context involved with anything, but to say that to question Anthony Davis's defensive prowess is just like insane. Like, obviously, he might not be perfect every game or every series might be different, but to question what type of defender he is, that makes no sense. Based off a series,
Do you think he was the best defender in the postseason this last
best,
run?
best, like it don't even best comparing him to who? Like, was he great? Did he?
Comparable to Bam, Draymond, and Triple J.
It's not even like comparing them. They play different roles. It's different series, different opponents. But are they good at defense? That's just a simple question. Can they be relied upon to be great defenders? I think yes. When one guy might have a better series before, and one guy might have a better series next. But are they great defenders at the end of the day?
Yeah, I think it's very
So
Okay,
But I
so
can
basically,
give y'all a
I think you just nitpicking for the sake of just like because you bored.
so basically, you don't fuck with rankings.
I do agree as well, actually. I agree.
Wait,
Niggas
No,
are
oh
bullshit. I
rankings.
don't
shit.
I
know why
used
Hold on,
to.
hold on,
I
hold on,
used
hold
to
on, hold on,
fuck
hold on,
with
hold on, hold on, hold
rankings.
on, hold on, hold on. Let him
Nigga
answer
said
this.
it's
So
the
you
That's
voting
why
basically,
that
theory.
brought up
Hell
the
wait,
no.
AD
yo, wait, yo,
juxtaposition.
wait, yo,
That's the
wait. So
point.
you basically don't fuck with rankings.
I used to fuck with rankings, but it's just gotten to the point now where it's just
Wait,
too
so you
many
don't
of
fuck
them.
with no rankings? Like you don't care about all
So you just
NBA no
don't like
more?
ranked players?
I fuck with the game of basketball,
He
and I
said
just
the
like
criteria
I
be too
like it how it
much.
is. I don't try to nitpick around it. Obviously, we're gonna look at stats and look at why a team won or lost, but it's a lot of nitpicking going on around our game right now. It's just no fun to even talk to anybody about
Wait,
basketball.
do you think that the players should be like ranked or talked about in this manner, or
I mean,
how do
you
you think?
should. Yeah, I mean, of course you're gonna rank players. Of course you're gonna compare errors and all of that stuff. That doesn't necessarily mean that I like it. Of course it's gonna go down like that, but I like players for what they bring to the table individually. And circumstances and context matters a lot, and it's hard to dive into the context with so much conversation
Yeah,
being had.
KD,
You know what I'm saying?
So
KD,
Yeah,
how you feel
it's basically if
yeah,
you're
about
but
good. Wait.
how you feel about
So
rim
basically,
protection?
it's for
Son,
you. It's if you're good or not. That's all it is. If you good, you good. If
It's
you're
like
not, you're not. Simple.
it's really that
Okay.
simple.
Yeah. Okay.
I mean, you're gonna have your moments, and certain moments gonna matter more than others, and you want to see dudes produce in those moments. All that shit is cool, but like at the end of the day, you know if that player is good or
Yeah.
not.
So you don't
Yo,
fuck
so
with
what
So when
about
did
rankings, but
that?
so?
you
When
fuck
did
with
wait, wait,
tiers.
stop. When did this switch up happen with you? Because I
Once I
don't
got
hear
to the
that shit.
damn.
league,
So if that was the case, so it didn't really matter to you if you was the best player in the league or not.
what like no, being the best player in the league is like what like being the best player in the league. I just want to be in the conversation. I want to be an all star. Let's
Damn.
put it
So
But
that
you
then
way.
you
just
say,
want to
but then you say, but
participate?
then you say at one point you said you was tired of being number two.
Yeah, I was. See, when I said that, we had just lost the championship. That's what I was tired of being. Number two, because we had lost the championship. That was 10 years ago.
niggas
Wait. So
trying to
you
take him out
cool
of
with like
context, bro. That's
you just
crazy.
cool with participating though?
You's a sick nigga,
What?
KB. Oh my god.
Are you serious?
This
I'm
nigga
cool.
trolling,
I'm
but
cool with
KD over
fans.
here
I'm
is
cool with fans.
glazing. All right.
I'm cool with fans consuming the
So
game
back
the
to
way
your
they want to
criteria.
consume
So
it. I'm
wait,
not here
basically,
to
basically,
sway.
you instead of doing
Good.
rankings like one through five, you just like to do tiers. Like your tier is like, okay, this player's good, this player's good, this player's good.
I
Your
don't.
tier is
I
like this,
don't
that player
even look
bad.
at shit like tears.
All
I
right,
I
ain't
don't
bro.
even
All
even.
right,
good like
KD.
that,
What's your
bro.
So
criteria
you're
though?
so wait.
I mean, it's kind of the same logic though.
Wait, wait.
Wait, hold on.
I
Because
want to be clear. I'm not going to find you ranking players or putting a player over another one in your 15 years in the league. That's what I'm saying.
like to watch and what I like to see over others. But I appreciate what everybody brings to the game uniquely, bro.
Right. So
Everybody.
again, Katie. So again, it's just because some of these questions are kind of just whatever. So, Katie. So when you're talking about skill sets, for instance, like what for you then makes certain players more effective? It could be in playoff situations, final situation, whatever. What makes a basketball player more effective than others when the game gets tighter, when playoff situations arise, when pressure situations hit? What do you think makes a player better or stand out above others when they're on the court?
That's a great question. I feel like a lot factors in. First of all, can you hold your own on both ends? Can you guard up and can you go get a bucket on your own? That's the base, right? If you can't do that stuff on your own, it's gonna be hard for you to survive late in games. It's gonna be hard for you to just play in general because you can't guard nobody. They're not gonna put you on the floor. You can't create your own shot. Then it's gonna be tough for you to last in the pressure packed moments. So those two things what I look at the most. But I
All right,
mean,
about defense. About defense.
you looking at
Wait.
height, you looking at
About
height,
defense. About
weight,
Shut
you looking
down,
at
bro.
measurables.
Right. So
damn.
Coach Katie, so when you evaluate your own game, then, so if you're talking about yourself, so
Mm-hmm.
you, since the injury, for instance, you have not consistently been able to get to the rim as like you used to. But again, that could be a lot of things. Your game has changed, play styles changed, all that kind of stuff, older, whatever else. So what do you feel about your own game has evolved or changed since you first went to Brooklyn to where you are now with the Phoenix Suns?
I'm more sharp. I don't get to the rim as much because it's just clogged up. If I could get to the rim, I would. But I put pressure downhill, though. I don't just shoot threes. That's the thing. If I'm getting past
You
my
think you put a lot
man,
of pressure on the rim now?
huh?
Yeah. You think you put a lot of pressure on the rim now
I think I drive
compared to
more than I
compared to how
just
you did in
settle for
OKC
threes.
back then?
I don't just settle for threes. If I'm just getting into the paint, making something happen, I don't necessarily got to lay the ball up at the rim.
Wait, but
If
you
I'm
don't
Yeah,
not
you
think that
take the
you
making
wait,
mid
shots,
wait,
think
wait,
you
range,
wait,
lost
bro.
a
wait.
step?
Wait, hold
You
on,
don't
hold
think you
on. I
lost a
don't.
hmm?
step though?
Take the mid range, nigga.
Say what?
Yeah,
You
getting
take
to
the
the
mid
mid range.
range.
Yeah, the mid
Yeah,
range. Mid range post ups, getting to your spots. Like you don't think you lost a step compared to before you tore your Achilles?
lost a step. What you mean?
Do
Like
you
you got
think
just
You
you
like
don't
got
get to the rim.
slower post
you
Achilles
don't get to the rim
injury?
as much as you did before, pretty much. Yeah.
I don't even look at them stats. Am I getting to the rim less?
Bro, you get to the rim like
Bro,
at
yo,
such a low
Katie, do you
percentage,
wait?
bro.
Stop, Katie. Do you think that you get to the rim less than you did before you got hurt?
I feel like I can do what I want. I can move around, maneuver, and make the plays that I want to make.
So, do you think that's a politician answer? But okay, if
No,
that's
I'm
the
just
case,
telling you, like, I'm not dunking or getting to the rim as much. Yeah, there's a lot of players in the rim. There's a lot of people in the paint. I feel like
So basically,
so
you attribute
so
more of
if
that, KD, to the
if
to the
I
players you've been
could,
around.
or just the schemes the teams are throwing out. Some teams may help a little bit more. Some teams may play a little bit zone. But no, I don't feel like I've lost a step. Uh, and I feel like I could play a lot of minutes and do it, still be versatile.
All right, about
so
your three
what?
point
So
shot in the
what? So
playoffs.
wait,
About your 3 point
what
Hmm?
shot in the
scheme?
playoffs. Why did that?
I'm gonna say what
Why you
scheme?
think
What
that
scheme were the
changed?
Nuggets running against you for you to shoot that bad?
Just shooting bad, bro.
Oh, you
Wait,
just
so you
shooting
don't
bad.
you don't think
Okay.
you don't think a lack of rim pressure was hurting you in
Oh,
that Boston series?
It's hard to get to the rim when you looked at by three or four people at all times, man. You think they're just gonna let me drive
Crowding
to
the
the
space,
ring?
basically. Yeah.
but no,
What
but
about
against
gap
Denver,
in?
but
What
against
about
Denver,
yeah, that's what I'm
you just
saying.
shot
Against
poorly. You
Denver.
just shot poorly.
It's a lot going on in the paint, man. When I'm playing, that's how I look at it.
All
I
right, but what
don't get
about
the
your
free
3 point
reign.
percentage outside of Golden State?
Here, let him finish.
Let him finish what, nigga? He's
Oh,
not,
hold
bro.
on. No,
I'm asking.
hold on. Because again. So, Katie, so when you're, because I think what everybody's trying to point to is the numbers would suggest that your drives have decreased, your frequency at the rim has decreased, all this other stuff has decreased over time. So even this year, when you played in the Phoenix Denver series and you were being guarded by Aaron Gordon, Bruce Brown, KCP, Christian Brown, whatever, you seem in that series to be settling for more pull up twos, contested pull up
I
twos
feel like I
in that.
got to the rim more in that series than I did in the last couple of years. I was getting to the free throw line. I was getting to the paint, driving to the rim off the transition. I felt like I was getting to it downhill in that series.
So for you then when you evaluate your shooting percentages, for instance, in that series, or when when you were getting guarded by Aaron Gordon, I think you shot like 38% or whatever the course of that series. That what do you think that's more so you were just missing shots that you
Yeah,
normally would have hit just because it's a
most
series?
definitely.
Okay.
And I told you that. But hold
Yeah.
on, let me ask this question though.
You
Of
said
course they play good defense. Of course teams play good defense, get a good contest, but it's not like
yo. So
anything
you said you don't fuck.
drastic happens. It's just been
Yo,
shots.
you said you don't fuck with rankings. So as people that's analyzing the game and players that we set expectations for, standards for, they don't live up to that, right? Like,
Who?
how do you feel about that?
Oh, you just saying in general.
You said what?
You said well, people don't live up to
Yeah,
the
the
stand. I don't
players the
set
players
standards.
don't live up to the standards or
I
the
don't set.
expectation that set even for themselves. A player like you probably set standards and expectations for yourself. If you don't live up to it, and as fans or even analysts of the game, and we see you don't live up to it, how do you feel about that when it happens? Oh.
Did he duck?
Oh, he left.
Bruh, I was
Okay.
about to ask about that rim pressure, bro.